having solar panels, having, replacing your stove and your heater with an electrical heater, an electrical stove, it all helps the environment, but it has a cost. And for many of the residents in Montgomery County, the cost is still high. It's very high to switch over to solar. And if you don't switch over to solar and you're going to pay Pepco for your electricity, then replacing the stove, replacing the water heater, and anything else that might run on gas, it's going to raise the bill significantly. How do you propose to make that change and still making it economically viable for the families in Montgomery County?
That's where I think we in the environmental movement went wrong. We said we're destroying the earth, the polar ice caps are going to melt, and we're all going to drown. And that's hard to picture. People believe what they can see, and that's a very abstract concept to a lot of people. We haven't kind of gotten their foot in the door on environmental issues. So this is what I was talking about with asking people to do really easy things. And you brought up money, which is super important. So where I live, our trash collection is done through the county, and we pay for it in our property taxes. There's a special line item for solid waste. If I went to a lot of communities and said, listen, I'm going to give you a trash bin, or would you want a trash bin 2/3 the size of the one you have now? And I'm going to charge you less money because it's going to be less to pick up. It's going to cost the county less to collect from in front of your house. It's going to cost us less to get rid of. And it's going to be good for the environment because we're putting less waste in landfills or sending to the incinerator up in Dickerson. Would you figure out some ways to produce less trash in your house? For money, I bet a lot of people would. Right? So that's like one thing. There's a financial incentive. It's a win-win-win for everybody. That saves you money, that gets people like, oh, I can do this. This is easy. And now they're into like the environmental movement. And now they're thinking, what can I do next? And then we could say, hey, let me tell you about rain barrels, right? So we're going to cut off a piece of your downspout. You put this plastic barrel, it'll collect 55 gallons of rain. And if you're watering your garden or watering your grass or need, something any water that you're not drinking, get it from the rain barrel. Oh, that's easy to do. And now we're saving water. And just small stuff like that, building up to solar panels, redoing the insulation in your house, buying an electric car. Just a lot of things we could do. And, I'm a proponent of keeping the buses free forever, fare free forever. That is good for the environment, especially when all the buses are electric. And that saves people money, especially at the lowest rung of the economic ladder, right? Saving that $1 every day or that $2 every day for the bus, big difference. And then that's how they're helping out the environment.
Do you see incentives to switch over to solar and other electric initiatives, or maybe subsidizing electrical cars as a viable solution or a viable program in Montgomery County for residents?
I think there are moderate things we can do. There's state and federal credits. I think it's like iPhones, right? The first iPhones were super expensive and not very good. We're getting into sort of the adolescence of electric cars. They're really nice. They can go over 200 miles on a charge, but they're still expensive. And I think as the new electric vehicles become used electric vehicles and the technology gets improved, they're going to be cheaper and cheaper just in a free market world. They're going to get there. It's just going to take a little time.